Hey guys, so today I got a new palette. I wanted to share it with you. I did this video the other day and I had a migraine come on when I was trying to like finish it up, and it just kind of went south really fast, so I decided to redo the whole thing. And yeah, so I have used this palette before. This is not a first impression. Seems to be happening quite a bit lately. Sorry about that. These migraines are killer though, and I do apologize. They just come on out of nowhere. I've had it for 4 days now, and it's still not completely gone, but I feel better today than I have the whole week, so that's a plus. And so I'm ready to redo this. So instead of laying in bed this evening, I decided let's play with makeup. This might be one of the more surprising purchases, but I like to watch NikkieTutorials on YouTube, and she came out with her own palette in collaboration with Beauty Bay, so I picked it up. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's a black with like some glitter to it, which is really cute. Has a keyhole design there, and then it has a little message from her on the back, which I've already taken the palette out of it, so it's very light. But when you take the palette out, this is what the palette looks like. She said that it's kind of like she has, you know, different sides to her personality, so this was kind of a description of that. This over here, I said it kind of looks like Lisa Frank to me. So there's some cool artwork to it. It's just not necessarily my thing. I like something like this is kind of more my vibe. Just simple, sleek. That's me. But this is cool, you know. What I care more about is what's on the inside, and that's what is most important. So here are the shadows. I'm gonna hold it weird because there's two mirrors. This one is a regular mirror, and this one on the darker side is a magnified mirror. So here are all the different shades. This one is actually a pink shade, but it's showing up a reflective, it has a reflection of blue in it too. So I'll do swatches for you guys. But the other night, what I did was like a coral eye look. So I started out with this one. I deepened it a little bit with this, and then I had this on my eye, and you know, it was really pretty, and I loved the look. It just kind of went south because of the migraine. So tonight we're gonna do something a little different. We're not gonna do coral. So I went ahead and primed my eyelids. I used my Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. This is a really neat primer. It has a very unique consistency. It looks like that. It's not super opaque. See, it kind of blends out a little bit. And it's just very, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to use it. But it just goes on really nice and thin. But yet really smooth too. So I do like this eye primer, and I use it quite a bit. So I know how it performs, and that's why I chose to use it today. I'm going to do 5 swatches at a time, and I'm going to do them on the back of my hand. It just looks better than my arm, in my opinion. So that's why I was going to do it. I did swatches the other night, and I did 2 rows at a time. So I did 10 swatches at a time. And it was, my swatches looked awful. I'll just be honest with you. But if you haven't been online or seen anything about it, I will link Nikkie's. She has a couple videos about it. So I'll link those below. Go and check them out. She is from Holland, so some of these shadows are named with Dutch words. And she explains the reason she named each shade, you know, what she named it. So she explains it way better than I ever could. So that's why I say go watch her videos. Here are the first 5 shades. We'll just go in order from left to right. This one's Redemption. This first one is an orange. This one is called Blend and Snap. This is a reflective white shade. It's called Ivy. This purple is a Slasher, and this is 5 AM. This shade here was like one that I was like, oh my goodness, when I swatched it. It is so velvety smooth. Can you see that? It's called Roxy Catan. This one's called Vla, Mikai, Mila, and Underground. Can you see that one? It's very reflective as well. Trying to move. This one, of course, is super, super smooth, and that one may have some texture because of my skin, but it's smooth as well. Plot Twist, Aura, Basic Trut. This is almost like my skin tone. That's how you can barely see it, but it is there, I promise. All In, and Ew. She doesn't like this. She does not like the shade green. Some shades of green. So that's why she named this one Ew. Again, these 2 shimmers, mind-blowing. Okay. This one is called Pride, Zomer, Mama Tutorials, Amsterdam, and Mr. Tutorials. This one's her mom's favorite color, and that is after her fiance's eyes, I think. But yeah, these shimmers will absolutely blow your mind. There is going to be a restock, but this is like the last one, and after that it's gone for good. So if it's something you want, you need to grab it on the next restock. And follow her like on all her social media, because I'm sure she'll announce it, and Beauty Bay will as well. Just to kind of set everything, I'm going to go in with Basic Trut. And just go all over the lid. I love that there's a shade that I can do this with in the colorful palette. You know, that always makes me happy because I like to lay down a base to blend my shadows on. The reason I said that this might be a surprise that I purchased this one is because, you know, I'm very neutral. The Natasha Denona Glam palette is my new favorite if you've not been watching my channel. That's, of course, you know, what I'm loving at the moment. And so, you know, all these colors are not necessarily what I would normally gravitate to. If you take out some of these brighter colors, it's actually more wearable than you think. So, I think I'll get some good use out of it. And I think that it is, these shimmers are just amazing. But this one in particular, I noticed the other night that it's very like creamy. So just something to make note of. Okay, next I'm going to go into the shade Mila. And I am going to work that through my crease. Nikkie is known for her bright, you know, eyeshadows. And so, of course, she would have a bright palette. And of course, you know, that's not necessarily what I always do. You know, I don't wear color very often. But she has a lot of great tips for hooded eyes and just great tips in general. She's like, if you want to know anything, she's the one who can teach you, and in a very like understanding, basic way, you know. That's what I like. That's why I like to watch her. It's because she is just so easy to learn from. Okay. Then the next color I'm going in with is this dark purple called Slasher. I am tapping my brush off because these are super pigmented. And I'm focusing in this outer corner first with the same brush. I'm taking a clean brush and I'm going back into that Mila shade, the first shade, and just kind of blending with the purple a little bit more. see the difference? That's why I wanted it to be, I want to see the purple, but I don't want it to be all I see. And then I'm taking that like skin tone shade Plot Twist and just going around the edges. If you ever blend something and it looks like that and it's like, whoa, that's just too much, take like a skin tone or a lighter shade and just kind of blend it out and see how that kind of just tone that down just a bit. And for it to work, it's going to have to be a shadow that has some pigment to it though. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this darkest brown called 5 AM going into it. And just on this very outer corner, just deepen it up just the tiniest bit. Not bringing it onto my lid very much, just keeping it in the corner. One thing I forgot to mention is she does have this little insert. Sorry, it's wet. I had a makeup plop laying on top. But it tells you how you can use each individual shade in the palette. So like it tells you which is best to use. So if it's like best to use with a finger or a brush or both, you can see on this. So just FYI, you know, she does kind of help guide you in that direction, which is really nice. I am going to take this shade here. It's called NikkieTutorials. I'm going to try it on a brush because it says you can do a brush or a finger. So I'm going to try it on a brush and then we'll try it on the finger too. But I'm just going to, well, may not need a finger. This is going all over the lid, by the way. So that's with a brush. Went on really nice. I'm going to try my fingers still because I want to see the difference. Okay, so here's with the finger, here's with just the brush. You can definitely see the difference, but just with the brush, I mean, that is pretty good, I have to admit. Just very gently gonna take a brush around the edge. See how I laid the foundation, but that was like the focal point. Awesome. I did have some fallout, but not like a ton. Not as much as I thought I would have, honestly. I'm gonna go and finish my face, and then I'll come back and we'll do the bottom lashes together. But if you're wondering, I love this palette. Sorry, I'm trying not to blind you. I love this palette so much. This shade is amazing. All of the shimmers in this palette are spectacular. They are so creamy, so smooth, and definitely worth it. So maybe one day I'll get brave and play with a little bit more color. This is about as colorful as I'm gonna get today. But that's okay. That's okay. So let me finish my foundation and all that good stuff, and I'll be right back and we'll do the bottom lashes. Okay guys, let's finish it up. I didn't put a primer on. It's in the evening. I'm probably gonna take my foundation off pretty soon, or my makeup off pretty soon, so I didn't put a primer on today. So I did use my Maybelline Superstay foundation. For concealer, I used my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Brightener. Then I used, it's a Maybelline day for me apparently. Sorry. But I used my Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade Fair. Then I used Rimmel London Natural Bronzer in the shade 22 Sun Bronze. Then for blush, I actually used the shade Zomer out of Nikkie's palette. And highlight, I did the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Highlighter in the shade Twilight Gleam. So there's the shade on that. For my lips, I did the Revlon Colorstay Longwear Lip Liner in the shade Nude. So that was what I did. And then I did this Mary Kay lip gloss in the shade Copper Aura. So that's what I've got on my lips today. And eyeliner was, it's bleeding too. I meant to clean that up and I forgot. I used the Ciate London Fierce Flicks. And for mascara, I use my Mary Kay Lash Love Fanorama. And this I don't think is available anymore, which I'm very sad about. But I do have some backups, so at least I won't have to worry about it for a while. And then for eyebrows, I did my Maybelline, it's totally a Maybelline day. I did the Maybelline Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade in Auburn, and I also used my ColourPop Brow Boss pencil. So, that's what I did for everything else today. So let's finish up the lashes, the bottom lash line. Although I have to say, I kind of digging like this wide-eyed look without anything on the bottom lashes. Didn't look too bad. Okay, so I'm going to take this 5 AM Darkest Brown and just push that up against that lash line. Then I'm going to take the smudger brush and go into the color Slasher, which is that darker purple. And then just to kind of make that not so vampy, I guess, I'm going to take the Basic Trit and the Mila mixed together. So I just kind of went back and forth with it. See how it just made it softer. And then for highlight, I'm going to try to use this All In shade. So it was a little chunky for the brow bone, so I just went back with the highlighter that I used on my face. Then I'm going to take the ColourPop cream gel liner in the shade Charmer for the waterline. It's just like that vampy purple color. And here's the finished look. I really like this palette, guys, and I like this look better than the other night too. I went for a coral look the other night, and not that it was bad, I just wasn't feeling it the best, you know, so it just turned out a little bit better today, I think. But I really like the palette. I think that she did a wonderful job. We'll see if I ever use some of these brighter colors. I think using the purple, I kind of branched out a little, okay? So I think I did a little something that's not normally what I do, so. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that it was something a little bit different than what I normally do. Of course, I used purple just the other day too, so it wasn't exactly this purple though. So anyway, moving on from that. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate your support so much. I am starting to feel just a little bit bad, and I think it's just all these bright lights. So I am going to go ahead and say goodnight, and I thank you guys again so much, and I appreciate your love and support, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.